A $500 billion city rises from the Saudi desert, the most ambitious project in human history. A ski resort in one of the hottest countries on Earth, with 30 kilometers of artificial slopes. This is not science fiction. This is NEOM, and Lux Vault is taking you inside tonight. In 2017, a plan was unveiled that would redefine what a city could be for the entire world. NEOM, a name meaning new future, was envisioned as a hyper-futuristic hub for technology and innovation. Covering the size of Belgium, this desert megacity was designed to be Saudi Arabia's Silicon Valley. At the heart of NEOM lies The Line, a city unlike anything ever attempted by humanity. Two parallel skyscrapers standing 500 meters tall, higher than any building in Europe. 170 kilometers of desert and mountain terrain transformed into a zero-carbon metropolis. 9 million people, no cars, no roads, and everything a resident needs within a 5-minute walk. NEOM includes Oxagon, a floating octagonal industrial hub on the Red Sea.
And Trojena, a year-round mountain ski resort selected for the Asian Winter Games.
Together, these projects represent the crown jewel of Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030. The projected cost of this undertaking is $500 billion, with estimates approaching $9 trillion. The line defies conventional understanding, 170 kilometers long and 200 meters wide. This groundscraper would be 10 times denser than Manhattan, with a mirrored exterior reflecting the desert.
Inside, zero-gravity urbanism creates a three-dimensional city where residents live, work, and play in stacked communities.
70% of the interior space remains adaptable, allowing the city to evolve with its residents. The environmental vision was equally ambitious: zero carbon emissions and 100% renewable energy. The line's narrow width allows natural light to penetrate from both sides and wind to pass through.
20 residential modules across 16 kilometers were planned for completion by 2030.
The world watched as cranes filled the desert and construction crews worked around the clock.
Trojena sits on Jebel Al-Lauz at 2,600 meters altitude in a hot country.
Over 30 kilometers of ski slopes with artificial snow during 3 months of winter.
A man-made lake holding 15 billion gallons required $205 million just for concrete.
The ski village includes hotels, residences, retail, and an 8-hole golf course amongst the clouds.
Construction at Trojena is a military operation with immense logistical challenges at high altitude.
Satellite imagery reveals advancing work as NEOM pushes toward the 2029 Asian Winter Games.
The line's budget started at $1.6 trillion and grew to $8.8 trillion. NEOM consumed 1/5 of all the steel available on the global market at peak construction.
Each module required 3.5 million cubic meters of concrete and 5,500 foundation piles. By late 2025, the Public Investment Fund halted all construction on the line. $50 billion had been spent, leaving half-finished foundations and growing realization. The population target for 2030 has been revised from 1.5 million to fewer than 300,000.
Only 2 kilometers of the line are expected to be completed by the end of the decade. The Asian Winter Games scheduled for Trojena have been postponed indefinitely. Contracts, including a $5 billion deal with Italian contractor WeBuild, have been cancelled.
The only operational component is Sindalah,
a yachting resort criticized as an expensive failure.
But NEOM is not over. The Public Investment Fund includes it in the 2026-2030 strategy. NEOM officials describe this as strategic discipline and phased recalibration of the vision. From European markets to the Gulf, NEOM's new logistics corridor is already being used. The dream of a city that would change the world may be evolving, but NEOM's story is far from over. NEOM has already transformed how the world thinks about urban development and sustainable design.
Now LuxVault wants to hear from you. Would you live in a city with no cars and no roads?